Welcome to the Tomes and Tropes podcast, where books and friendships collide. I'm Becca.
And I'm Keri, and we're two friends who love to talk about books. So today we are deviating from talking about a very specific book to talking about our favorite books at different points in our lives. So we're going to be answering like what books will be similar to the ones you liked? Would we have been bookish besties back in the day? I guess we'll find out.
Guess so. So our first era is going to be our elementary school days when we were between the ages of 5 and 10. Little baby Becca, little baby Keri, just learning how to read and
Ugh,
discovering the world, right?
yes.
So when I was in elementary school, my favorite book was a book called Just One More Story. And the reason it was one of my favorites is not because I could really read it, but because at night before I went to bed, my mom would always read a story, and this is the one that I would choose more often than not. And it's such a cute story. It's about a mama pig putting her little piglets to bed, and they
Oh.
don't want to go to bed, so they keep asking her to read just one more story before they have to go to bed. And it's just the sweetest book. So I
Hmm.
love it. Yeah,
I never read that book.
it's a good one.
I'll have to find it whenever I have kids one day.
Yeah, whenever one of my friends has a baby, that's typically my baby shower gift.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah.
So
How about
cute.
you?
Mine was Little House on the Prairie, and I have to preface
Oh,
this. My mom made me read it because I was not a reader in elementary school. Like I hated it. And this like sparked, I think I talked about this in our intro episode where this kind of sparked reading, like the love of reading for me.
mm.
And so, I mean, the first couple books are elementary, and the more like you grow with Laura, the more you are growing too. Like you're growing up with her, kind of. So it just really sparked my love for reading, for the prairie life, for a little bit of romance that you can have in kids' books.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So that was mine. Do you want me to introduce the middle school?
Yeah.
Perfect. So next up, obviously, is middle school. This is typically between ages 11 and 14. So mine was Christie by Catherine Marshall. It's a thick book. I'm surprised I read this in middle school.
Really?
It's thick. She thick. Like tiny print, small. I don't even have it. It's probably in a box somewhere. But she thick, like probably that thick.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So have you haven't read Christie yet,
I
right?
haven't. No, I know nothing about it.
So it's about this city girl who comes to a small little rural town in the mountains of North Carolina, called Cutter Gap. She's a teacher, and so it just follows her journey there. And it's just
Okay.
really good life stories. There's a really good movie series, a one season TV show. Cute.
Is
Loved it.
it, are there like multiple books in the series, or is it just the one book?
Just the one. But like I said, she thick, so it's definitely
Okay.
like enough to have a series.
Okay. Okay.
What was yours?
Yeah, so mine, so it's so funny. I can remember exactly where this book series was in my middle school library. It was the Warrior Cat series, and I read these books like crazy. I read so many of them. I'm pretty sure. So the author has, I think it's multiple book series, and they follow like different types of animals, I think. I think one's maybe a polar bear. There are I don't think there's a dog one, but maybe it's wolves. But the cat series was the one that I followed. And not only is there one cat series, but it like breaks off into multiple different like offshoots of it. So like there's the original
Oh.
series, and then there's like the multiple other series. But it follows this cat who starts off as like a house cat, and then he meets a feral cat, like a non-domesticated cat, and then becomes part of their clan. and it's like it follows the stories of all the cats in the clan and like how they work together
Oh,
and things like that. But I devoured that series in middle school.
that's so cute.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
cats.
I haven't read it in a while. It's definitely a middle school book, but I bet it would still hold up today.
Oh, I'm sure. Cats are always relevant.
Always. Always. Well, our next era is high school, and I feel like this is really where, like, I don't know about you, Carrie, but this is really where I fell in love with reading, like 100%.
Mm,
This is where I wasn't forced to read anymore. I wanted to read. Would you agree?
interesting. I would say middle school was it for me. I was homeschooled, so I had a lot of time on my
Mm,
hands.
okay.
And
Yeah.
my parents owned a books like a Christian bookstore, so I had access to tons of books all the time.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, they
Wow.
tons of books. I worked in their used bookstore section just so I could see what books were coming through. So middle school was like my jam.
Oh my goodness. I had
Yeah.
no idea. Oh, that's so exciting.
But high school is when I finally moved on from just Christian fiction, where I could finally sneak books I wasn't technically allowed to read.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. But anyways, so high school for me was definitely the beginning of my dystopian era. And for
Mm.
those listeners who have been listening to us for a while, you know I love a good dystopian book. So my favorite from that time is actually going to be the Delirium series.
Ooh.
I want to say it's by Lauren Oliver, but I'm not 100% sure that that's correct. So don't quote me on that. But it's about this girl who it's about the society where love is a disease, and this girl turns 18 and um starts to look for or meets this guy, and like they form this romance. But everybody, when they turn 18, is supposed to get this surgery to like remove the portion of your brain that can like feel love. And so it's her decision trying to figure out if she wants to go through with the surgery or not. And it's a three-book series, it's a trilogy. I love my trilogies.
You
So,
do.
and that one is definitely one that I would still read today. So, for our listeners, I definitely recommend it.
I'll have to, I don't think I read, was this a movie?
I don't know.
I feel like I saw a trailer or watched a movie. Maybe it was something similar. I would think it, maybe I'm thinking of that one where they all live in that one area. I'm describing this terribly. But it was like the guy with the blonde hair. I don't know. I'll have to find it. Never mind.
I don't know. I never saw a movie, so I don't know if one exists or not, but
We'll
um
see.
yeah, but I definitely uh I loved
Yeah.
it.
Let's
Carrie, how about
see.
you?
I was basic, Hunger Games all the way. I dove deep into Hunger Games.
Nice. Nice.
So they like I remember hearing about it. We were like camping and we were hanging out by the pool and like five or six people were reading the Hunger Games. And I was like, interesting. And everyone was talking about it. Like, I don't know what was happening. It's like one of those rare things where like kind of like Fourth Wing is now, like everyone's reading it.
Okay.
So I obviously snuck it and read it before my mom could find out. And it was amazing. So I love the Hunger Games. That's also like started my dystopian love. So then I dove into Divergent series and
Love Divergent series.
uh everyone talks about how the movies are good. I've listened to a lot of different podcasts and they're like, the movies are good. And I'm like, no, I disagree entirely.
But okay, aren't you the one who doesn't like the guy who plays four?
Yeah, his name is what, Theo
Theo
James?
James, I think.
Yeah. I
That's
saw he's in
probably
a new
why.
show.
Yeah, he was also in White Lotus, I think.
Mm, he's popular.
Yeah. That's probably why
Popular?
you didn't like him.
But
or
it
didn't like the
wasn't,
movies.
the movie just like wasn't very good. And I also think Shailene Woody, while she did like a really good job in the movie, she wasn't who I had in mind for Tris.
Yeah, especially since like wasn't Trish supposed to be small and Christina was supposed to be the taller one and then they like switched it in the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And there were just a lot of little things. Like, especially, I think I was disappointed because the Hunger Games did such a good job.
Yeah.
Like they changed things they had to. We could probably talk about that all day. But yeah, Hunger Games was it for me. I read Divergent like 3 times, so
I'll have to reread it and then
me
rewatch
too.
the movie.
There's apparently two.
To what?
I think 2 movies.
No, they did all three.
Did they?
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't watch that.
Yeah, well, the third book is the worst.
Oh wow.
I don't
I
even
had
think they
no
show
idea.
I don't even think they show the third movie like on TV anymore. I think they just show the first two.
I didn't even watch the other two. That tells you how much I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah, we'll have to reread those and watch the movies again.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Let's talk about
Anyways.
college.
Oh, yes.
19 to 22. Becca, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can.
Do it.
So mine was Redeeming Love, and we are branding this my the beginning of my romance era because Redeeming Love is definitely a romance book, 100%. It's by Francine Rivers, and it was really the first book that was a romance book. It wasn't a other type with romance thrown in, like with romance being the subplot. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, Redeeming Love, it was very impactful. It also, I think, shaped a lot of what I looked for, in my relationships moving forward.
Mm.
And so, yeah, definitely one of my favorites during that time. Carrie, how
Mm.
about you?
Fun fact, Becca got me to read Redeeming Love for the first time a few like last year, 2 years ago.
I did, yes.
And now I own my own copy because I found it at a used bookstore. Woo.
Amazing. I love it. It came out as a movie
Yeah,
a
which was
couple
really
years
good.
ago, like 3 years ago.
Really? That long?
It would have been when you still lived here because we went to
Yeah.
go see it together. And when I was still, yeah, it would have been about over 3 years ago.
Redeeming Love is great if you haven't read it. Or go
It's a good
watch the
one.
movie. Or both. Do both.
It's a good one.
Mine was Pride and Prejudice. I was obsessed with the movie in middle school. And like I had read the book shortly after, but it like frankly went over my head. And so I always said it was my favorite throughout middle and high school because yeah, like I loved the story from the movies, like from the 2 hour one with Keira Knightley and the other one with Ellie. I always don't know how to say her last name.
Mm.
The 10-hour one with Colin Firth.
That was like a series, right?
Yeah, it's a BBC series, but I always call it the 10-hour movie to scare people because it's fun.
Okay.
It's so good. That one is like watching the book.
Okay.
It's very similar.
Okay.
Have you watched it?
No.
Read the book
I've
and then watch that.
Yeah, I haven't read. So I've watched the Keira Knightley book or the Keira Knightley movie, but I have not read the book nor have I seen that other series.
If you, we can go. I mean, we don't have to keep this in, but if you do read it, I highly recommend watching or listening to Pod and Prejudice while you read those chapters.
Okay.
Because it's like having a book study. I wish I had like a book club.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. And
Definitely.
then our last era is our current era. We don't really have a good name for this era, do we?
No.
We're gonna brand it for me. We're gonna brand it my fantasy era.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I am deep in my fantasy era right now. I feel like any other books that are fiction that are not fantasy are just like not enough. So, but anyways, so my current favorite, or well, we're not doing favorites, we're doing currently reading. What I'm currently reading is a book called The Will of the Many. And it's actually a really interesting book. It's so far, I'm only about 25% in, so I haven't hit the meat and potatoes yet, but I definitely I definitely recommend it so far. It's about this boy who so it's about the society where the there's like different levels of it's like political levels, I guess, but the higher the or the lower political level, like you have to give your will to the next highest person. But yeah, it's very interesting. I'm not even sure I know what's going on right now, but yeah, it's a very interesting magic system. It's a very interesting book. I am hooked. I'm hoping to finish it very soon. So, yeah.
Oof.
But Carrie, what are you currently reading?
First, we talked about doing our favorite current read, but we didn't
We did.
because I don't have a current favorite read because I am the type of person that likes whatever I'm currently reading or
Mm.
just read. So right now I would say Addie LaRue, and I don't think that's fair because we spent 7 weeks on that, and I don't want to
Yeah.
keep bringing it up.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
fair.
want to know what your favorite read is right now, like in your adult era, we'll call it.
Fourth Wing.
That's a good choice.
Okay. So I know it's so popular. And okay.
It's
I want
popular
to,
for a reason, though.
it is popular for a reason. And I have this like visceral, uncomfortable reaction to liking things that are popular. Typically, I'm like way after the curve. Like it's died down and I'm like ready to read it. And then I'm like super excited, and everybody's like, "Ah, that was from like last year or like 4 years ago. Why are you only reading it now?" Um, but anyways, Fourth Wing, just like it has a chokehold on me that no other book series has ever had. Like I feel like I think about it. I finished reading, so I read Fourth Wing. I immediately read it again. Like literally, I ended the book and I was like, and then I started reading it like almost immediately. My husband and I were in Las Vegas and he was gambling and I was sitting behind him reading and then just like started reading again. So it was a great
Love it.
time. Finished it again on our flight back home. Read it twice in like less than a week. Um, and then Iron Flame came out, and I'm like still not over Iron Flame.
You really
And
aren't.
when I finished Iron Flame, I have a Ring video of it because we have a Ring video in like our living room because it's facing our front door. And I literally have a Ring video of me sitting on my couch staring into space with like this like horrified look on my face for an hour after I like closed the book. So, anyways, now I would like to preface that with Iron Flame is not my favorite. Iron Flame is not my favorite. Fourth Wing, the first book, is my favorite. And Rebecca
Yeah.
Yarros, I'm so excited for book three. I cannot wait.
Hurry
And
up.
no, please don't hurry up. We're not
That's true.
hurrying it up. I
Iron
want
Flame
it to
felt like a
sit.
little rushed. So I'm okay with her taking her time and making it amazing.
Yes, Iron Flame was a lot. And yeah, I do think it felt a little rushed, but um let's sit on it, marinate on it, make sure it's the gold that we all know it will be. And anyways, I'm so excited. So that's my favorite right now is Fourth Wing. I think I finished Iron Flame what? Like I'm trying to
Probably like
think.
5 months ago, right?
Yeah,
4 or 5 months ago.
when did it come out? October?
Think so.
So I finished it like the week it came out, and I
Yeah.
have not stopped thinking about it since.
Oh,
So,
it's so good. I got one of my
anyways,
friends to like I've gotten two different friends. So Becca got me into reading it. Then I've
I
gotten other
did.
friends into reading it, and those friends are now getting their friends into reading it. And it's just that's when you know a book is good.
If that is my legacy, I'm okay with it.
It is. It's been passed down. I just got a text last night that said I finished Fourth Wing and I gave it to my friend. So love that.
Oh,
And they already got Iron Flame ready to go. So
I love that. I love that. Yeah. So I'm looking as we were recording, I'm looking at my bookshelf and I have all hard copies. I have Fourth Wing. I have Fourth Wing, the special holiday edition that has the black sprayed edges, and then I have Iron Flame that has the black sprayed edges. And
amazing.
they're all in hard copy and they're all so pretty. I love
Goals.
them. So,
Such goals.
anyways, so yeah, that's my favorite right now is Fourth Wing, and it's mostly because I cannot stop thinking about it and nothing nothing has like taken away that hangover
Mm,
yet. So, and it's
that's
been six
true.
months,
That's a long time.
a long time.
I love that.
Yeah. How about you? You said you don't have a favorite?
No, but I can tell you what I'm currently reading.
Yeah, what are you currently reading?
Don't be mad at me.
Oh no.
I'm reading Shadow in the Bone.
No, that's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
I
Are you
just,
liking it so far?
yes, it's very different from the show, and I'm only 3 chapters in,
Okay.
if I'm
Okay.
remembering the show correctly.
Okay.
Was the Darkling in the show immediately? Like you knew who the Darkling was?
Uh, Like,
Spoiler alert
yeah,
for
spoiler alert. We didn't know we knew that the Darkling existed. It was like one of the first things because they had like the um uh
the
it
Fold.
yeah, they had the fold right away. And then like the beginning part of it was almost like a prologue. It was like the first couple minutes was like a this is what happened in the history and blah blah blah. But we didn't know anything else about the Darkling before that.
So, listeners, skip ahead if you haven't watched the show or read the book for like 2 minutes. Did we know that Ben
No?
Barnes' character? Okay, yeah, we already the Darkling exists in their camp in chapter 2.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I don't
No,
know if
we
we
don't.
know who that is yet. Like they just talk about how his carriage is there and like blah 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 blah, and they come with the Grisha. So it's very different. Also, Alina and Mal are very different. Mal is a very different person in this book,
Really?
at least from what I remember.
Okay.
Like, Mal is a ladies' man, and Mal isn't like into Alina at all. Whereas in the show, immediately you were like, oh, Mal is into Alina only.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's been like the biggest differences. And
Interesting.
I kind of like it better already.
Yeah, I mean, most people say they like the books a lot better, and the shows did not do it justice. That's why it is no longer a show.
Yeah, the second season sucked.
I haven't I haven't even watched the second season.
Don't waste your time.
Yeah.
It was infuriating. I'm hoping the books are a different story entirely.
Okay.
Because if they did what they did in the show, I'm going to be very upset.
Uh-oh.
But
I
we'll
don't
see.
know. Don't spoil it
I'm not going to spoil it.
because I don't know.
Anyways, so those were
Yes.
our eras.
Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed that.
We enjoyed talking about it.
We did. Obviously, I went on like a 10-minute rant about Fourth Wing.
It's easy to do.
It
There are
is. It
so
is.
many podcasts about Fourth Wing that, like,
Yeah, we are not a Fourth Wing podcast.
no. If you like Fourth Wing, there's plenty of amazing podcasters to go listen to about Fourth Wing that we enjoy too.
100%. Yep,
So
we
go
can
take a listen.
recommend them for sure.
Yes. But thank you so much for listening to us today. For more content, make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Tomes and Tropes Pod. Or if you have thoughts about this episode or any of the books that we've covered before, email us at tomesandtropespod@gmail.com. If you want to tell us your favorite books too, or if any of them aligned and we'd be bookish besties, reach out to us. We'd love
Yeah,
to hear it.
we didn't answer that question. Do you think we would have been bookish besties growing up?
I
Probably
think
not.
so. I
Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
funny.
I didn't really have many bookish friends.
Yeah,
Loki, I
me
didn't have
neither.
many friends back then.
Same.
Homeschool life.
Strict parent life.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
And I think high school would have been where we would have coincided.
I agree. I agree with
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, email us, check us out on Instagram and TikTok. And the best way to support us is by rating and reviewing wherever you listen and share with your book loving friends. I'm sure they'd love to hear us. Maybe
Yeah.
not. I don't know. We'd love for them to hear us.
Yes, share us with your friends. We want to build a community here, so that's what we're here to do.
Yes. 100%.
Also, if you want to hear us do a deeper dive into two specific books, we do have episodes. We have 3 episodes about The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. And we also have our 7 deep dive episodes into The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So definitely give us a listen there. We have lots of content for you.
Yeah, 7 episodes. It seems like a lot now.
It does seem like a lot, but man, we did a lot for Addie LaRue.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff in there. Check it out.
Definitely. But we will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening. Stay curious
Keep reading and
and
craft
craft
your
your
own
own
story.
story.